In the world of crypto, we spend so much time talking about unbreakable code and these super complex security systems. But what if the biggest threat, the most dangerous vulnerability, isn't some piece of code, but something a lot more familiar? Something human. Okay, let's get into it. And this right here, this is the core idea from a book in the War Library series. It completely reframes how we should think about crypto security. It's not a battle against software bugs, it's a war fought against deception. The main target isn't the blockchain itself, it's the person using it. It's you. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? I mean, all the brilliant technology, all the decentralized security in the world, it can all come crashing down with just one bad click, one moment where you trust the wrong person. That is the human vulnerability we're going to break down today. So that brings us to our first section, really defining the conflict here. For just a minute, forget about firewalls and all the technical stuff. In this kind of war, the real battlefield, well, it's inside your own head. So what we're talking about is called social engineering, and it's not about hacking the blockchain, it's about hacking the user. Attackers use our own psychology against us, our natural instincts to trust people, our fear, our greed, to trick us into giving up the keys to the castle. And this is just so critical to understand. Why would a hacker spend months trying to crack some impossible code when they can just trick you into telling them your password? Or even worse, your seed phrase, which is like the master key to everything. It's just the path of least resistance, and believe me, it is brutally effective. And, the crypto space is kind of a perfect storm for these attacks. Think about it. Once a transaction is sent, it's gone forever. It's irreversible. Scammers can hide behind a veil of pseudonymity. And you've got all these new, sometimes inexperienced users holding really valuable assets. It's a paradise for scammers. Okay, so let's get into how they actually do it. We're going to open up the enemy's playbook, and these aren't lines of code we're talking about. These are psychological weapons, and they're designed specifically to bypass your logic and your critical thinking. The absolute foundation of nearly every single scam is trust, and they manufacture it through impersonation. They'll copy profile pictures, they'll create usernames that are almost identical to the real ones, and they'll build websites that are perfect clones. The whole goal is to look so familiar that you just let your guard down. Next up in their toolkit, they weaponize fear. You get that message that just makes your heart stop, right? Urgent. Your wallet has been compromised. Your logic just goes right out the window. You're in pure panic mode. And when you're in that state, you're way more likely to click some malicious link to fix a problem that never even existed. And then, of course, there's greed. Let's be honest, we're in crypto. We've all heard the legendary stories of 100x gains. It's part of the culture, and scammers exploit that desire for a huge win with promises that are just way too good to be true. Because, well, they are. And the final piece of the puzzle is urgency. Hey, this offer expires in 5 minutes. There are only 10 spots left. That pressure is designed to make you act before you think. It's meant to completely shut down your natural skepticism and make you rush right past all the critical warning signs. And this table just shows you how it all fits together. See, they almost never use just one of these tactics. They mix them into this toxic cocktail. They build trust by pretending to be someone important, they invent an urgent problem to make you afraid, and then they offer a greedy solution. All of it designed to make you act on pure emotion. All right, so we get the psychology. Now, what do these attacks actually look like in the real world? It's time to learn how to spot the incoming fire before it hits. Okay, just take a look at this. On a platform like X, this is how simple and how scary effective impersonation can be. The fake username just has one extra number at the end. That's it. Now, if you're in a hurry, you're stressed out because a transaction is stuck, how many of us would actually notice that tiny difference? It's dangerously subtle. The classic giveaway scam. I'm sure we've all seen these in the replies under posts from huge accounts. Scammers will use hacked accounts or impersonators to make it seem like some celebrity is just giving away free crypto. It sounds so simple it's almost silly, but it works by combining that fake trust with our own pure greed. Now, phishing attacks are way more methodical. A scammer might buy the top ad on Google for a popular crypto wallet, so their fake link shows up even before the real one. You click it, the site looks totally legit, you go to connect your wallet, you type in your secret info, and just like that, it's game over. Your assets are gone. And then there's this one. It's one of the cruelest, most devastating scams out there. They call it pig butchering because the scammer, they fatten up their victim with an emotional connection. It could be friendship, even romance, and it goes on for weeks, sometimes months. Only after they've built that deep trust do they spring the trap with a fake investment. The real attack here isn't a link. It's a completely manipulated relationship.
All right, I know that was a lot of doom and gloom. We've seen the enemy's weapons and their tactics, but now it's time to build our defense. So let's talk about the real, actionable steps you can take, how to build your digital shield.
Okay, first and foremost, your seed phrase. That master key we talked about, it is everything. These rules you see here, they are non-negotiable. Write it down on paper, never, ever take a picture of it or save it in the cloud. And let me be absolutely clear. No legitimate support team from any project will ever ask you for your seed phrase, period. End of story. And if you ever think you've been compromised, you have to act fast. This is not the time to panic. It's the time to execute a plan. First, disconnect your wallet from the shady site. Second, revoke permissions. Think of this like logging out of every app you've ever given your wallet access to. It cuts off any backdoors you might have left open. Then, move your funds. Follow these steps, in this order, to control the damage. But here's the thing. This fight is never really over. The threat is constantly changing, constantly getting smarter. So let's look ahead for a minute at the future of the stuff and talk about why we have to stay so vigilant. I want you to really think about this question. For years, the advice has been look for typos or listen for a weird-sounding voice. But what happens when all of those clues just disappear? What happens when AI gets involved? Because this is the new battlefield. We're talking about AI writing scam emails with perfect grammar in the exact style of someone you know. We're talking about deep fake videos of a project's founder announcing some fake emergency. And voice cloning, where a scammer can use just a few seconds of your friend's audio to create a totally convincing fake message asking for help. The lines are getting really, really blurry. And that really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. As the technology gets more advanced, our best defense is still something that's stubbornly human. It's not a new piece of software, it's a mindset. It's that one moment where you just pause, you question things, you verify. That single moment of awareness, that can be the one thing that saves you from a lifetime of loss.